I forget the next part.
So a guy walks in with a pig under his arm, looks at his wife and says, "This is the pig I was telling you about." The wife looks at him and says,
No, you didn't.
Oh.
He walks in the house with a pig under his arm, and he says, "This is the pig I was telling you about." And jeez, no, I forgot it.
and his wife said, "Oh, no. It was a duck under his
Yeah.
arm. It was,
Yeah.
shoot, we ruined it. But there's a duck under his arm." And he goes, "This is the pig I was telling you about." And the wife goes, "It's a duck."
It's not a pig, that's a duck.
And
And he says, "I was talking to the duck."
Way back in the mountains, there lived this little boy and his mama. They got up one morning, didn't have nothing to eat. That little boy had a pet duck there. Mama said, "Son, I hate to tell you this, we're going to have to eat that duck or starve to death." "Mama, I can't eat my pet duck." Said, "I'll take it downtown and sell it. Buy something to eat." She said, "That's okay then, go ahead." Little boy gets a duck under his arm, he goes down the road, he comes to a house. Knock on the door, and a man opened the door, and a little boy walks in the house. That man and woman in there, and he looked up at the man and said, "Mister, you want to buy my duck?" He said, "No, I don't want to buy no duck." About that time, that woman said, quick, both of you get in the closet, my husband's coming home." Well, she put the little boy and the duck and that man in the closet, and her husband come in. And she trying to get her husband back out of the house, take her out to eat dinner, so he wouldn't see that man in the closet. While they was arguing, that little boy looked up at the man in the closet, said, "Mister, you want to buy my duck?" He said, "No, son, I told you one time I don't want to buy no duck." The little boy said, "You buy my duck." "Don't, I'm going to tell her husband you're in this closet, you know what he'll do to you." Old man said, "What do you take for?" Boy said, $100. That man give him $10 bills and get the duck. The woman's still arguing with her husband, trying to get him out of the house. The little boy looks up again and says, "Mister, will you sell that duck back to me?" He said, "Yeah, what'd you give me?" The little boy said, $10. $10, I'll give you $100 for it. The boy said, "Sell it back to me for $10. No, I'm going to start hollering. You know what that man do to you." Said, "Son, here's your duck. Back, give me $10. About that time, the woman got her husband out of the house and they left. That man jumped out of the closet and run up the road, and the little boy gets his duck and go home. He got home and said, "Mama, guess what?" She said, "What?" He said, "I sold my duck for $100 and bought it back for $10. Now I got my duck $90. He said, "Son, I'm ashamed of you. You done somebody wrong." He said, "You go down the road, you find a church, go down and ask that preacher to pray for you, forgive you." The little boy goes down the road, he comes to a church. He walks down, the preacher's in the back room doing something. He hears that boy in there, he said, "I'll be there in a minute, son." That little boy said, "Preacher, I want you to pray for me and forgive me." He said, "I done real bad wrong today." That preacher come out and sees that little boy, and he said, "Son, I don't know how you found me, but I'm not buying that duck again."